Keir Starmer has been ordered to resign by the UK Supreme Court in the most explosive political ruling in modern history. £124,000 in undeclared property profits, just the tip of the iceberg. A 268-page verdict revealed hidden luxury gifts, private jet rides, a £15,000 Rolex, offshore transfers, and a calculated cover-up. This isn't scandal, it's a constitutional crisis. Chief Justice Dame Sukar said it plainly. The office of Prime Minister has been abused. Protesters are flooding the streets, ministers are resigning, the Attorney General barred from briefings, and King Charles, he's reportedly considering invoking royal prerogative to remove Starmer, something not seen since 1834. Inside Number 10, panic. £52,000 wired from a shell company with zero explanation. This isn't just corruption, it's influence trading at the highest level. Lord Wukar Ali, a billionaire donor with defense contracts, reportedly bankrolled Starmer's lifestyle.
I will not tolerate such behaviour. If you want to go out now, but if you stand again, I'll lord you out. Make your mind up. Either shut up and get out.
The most powerful man in Britain has just experienced something no Prime Minister in modern history has ever faced. It happened live on television, in front of millions of viewers. The cameras captured every second, and now the images are circulating everywhere, being shared, remixed and replayed. What unfolded inside Westminster Hall was not just a heated debate, it was a collapse of authority, a political earthquake, and a moment that will be replayed for decades. The footage alone is already enough to shake the foundations of British politics. But what this leads to, what happens after, is even bigger. And if you stay with me until the end of this story, you'll see why this single moment could change the future of Britain forever. Wednesday, 12:15 p.m. The chamber is full, green benches crowded with MPs. The air feels heavy, tense yet routine, until something shifts. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is seated, calm on the outside, but across from him, Nigel Farage slowly stands. There's no shouting, no waving of papers, no dramatic gestures. He simply rises, and the silence that follows is louder than any speech. Mr. Speaker, he begins, his voice steady but sharp. The Prime Minister promised to stop the boats. Instead, what have we seen? Record crossings, over 45,000 this year. Deportation flights cancelled, hotels costing the taxpayer billions, and now leaked documents exposing secret talks about rejoining EU migration schemes. Each line falls like a hammer echoing in the chamber, every fact more devastating than the last. All eyes turn, some look at Farage, others at Starmer, who shifts in his seat, his face beginning to redden. Farage's words continue, deliberate, relentless. The people of Britain voted for border control, and what they received was betrayal disguised as compassion. When will the Prime Minister admit his policies have failed? It is sharp, brutal political theatre, but still within the limits of ordinary debate. That is, until the eruption. Starmer doesn't wait for permission. He doesn't follow protocol. He leaps to his feet, his hand trembling as it points across the chamber, and he shouts, voice cracking with fury, "How dare you? How dare you lecture this government about compassion when all you do is spread division?" The chamber freezes. Silence falls instantly. But Starmer doesn't stop. His voice rises higher, more strained. You have no right to speak about British values. You have spent your career tearing this country apart. You are a disgrace. Veteran MPs stare, jaws open. On the Conservative benches, disbelief. Even Labour MPs, his own side, sit horrified. The Speaker calls for order, his voice firm, commanding. But Starmer ignores him, stepping forward, face red, spit flying, still shouting. The most powerful man in Britain is losing control. Live on camera, before millions.
The UK is finished. If you're currently living in the UK, you might want to reconsider because it's about to get a whole lot worse. So this graph shows you the standard of living in the UK and it predicts it over the next few years up until 2028. Just take a look at that. This massive drop after 2023 shows how bad it's gonna get. The standard of living in the UK is going down the drain. And take a look at this. If you wanted to rent a 1-bedroom flat in suburban London, not even in central London, it will cost you 2.2k per month. Honestly, how can anyone afford this? Because the average salary in the UK per year after tax is 28k. And if you're renting a 1-bedroom flat, you would only have £130 per month left over for everything else. So no wonder so many people are in debt. Taxes are likely to go up, inflation is at an all-time high, and rent prices are unaffordable. There are so many different countries around the world where you can have a good standard of living. So why would you choose to live in the UK? It's already the second most unequal country in the world. Because honestly, if you stay in the UK now, it's just gonna get so much worse. And yes, all countries do have their problems, but the way I see it, the UK is finished, and it's not getting better anytime soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you like the video.
They told you that Africa was never civilized, but who gave them the right to define civilization? The same people who burned women for witchcraft, while Africans practiced astronomy, medicine, and more. Europe defined civilization as white skin, stone buildings, and gunpowder. So when they saw Timbuktu's libraries, Ethiopia's infrastructure, or the legal systems of Ashanti, they ignored it because it didn't look like them. But African civilization wasn't about domination, it was about balance. With nature, with people, with spirit. Europe colonized, enslaved, and conquered, and then called it progress. They measured humanity in how much land you could steal and how many bodies you could bury. So no, Africa wasn't uncivilized. It just didn't look like their version of power. And maybe that is why they had to destroy it. Because deep down they feared that it was more human than anything that they've built before.
Why do you think Great Britain exited the EU, European nations? They said, we don't want to lose the pound. Oh, hello. We don't want to lose the pound. No, it's none of that. You see, the only allies of America out of the entire European nations is Great Britain. All the rest are fake. The one who made America is Great Britain. The brain behind it was Great Britain. Because I must say to our beloved British people, you've got a brain that can move countries and the whole globe. Intelligent people, but sometimes, unfortunately, that extreme intelligence is used for evil intentions. And I'm talking about government levels, not the poor citizens.
I have some more bad news for those living in England. The UK is set to be on course to be one of the saddest places to live. Skyrocketing inflation has turned bedroom banter to raging arguments. They're unhappy because of the cost of happiness. It has gone up. Living standards have taken a dive. Romantic night outs are too expensive. The great British dream is crashing, and with that, so are house prices. Add higher taxes to the heap of troubles, and you'll find there's plenty of bitterness in the air. It's pushing more couples to call it quits. You think I'm exaggerating? Did you know the first working Monday in January is dubbed as Divorce Day? And while the royal rift has got tongues wagging, what about the rift on the streets of London? The unhappiness taking root in British life. No book release will resolve that.
As long as you're a black person, as long as you're an African, I believe that you know when we mention the name of Britain or UK, you know what we mean. You know Africa, the history between Africa and the Great Britain, you know what do we mean. And now, the Britain was the softest and the greatest garden that has been nourishing itself, showing its beautiness because of how it was made, because of how it was built. But the question comes here, who built this great empire of Britain? Where do the UK came from? And what make it to look as how it was looking? And now today, before I go deeper, you know, today the UK government is fighting against itself. We have seen what's happening. The court, the Supreme Court of UK has ordered the resigning of the Prime Minister because it is believed that Prime Minister is the reason as to all of everything that's happened today in the UK, because he has been there supporting all the destruction, the destructive in this country. And now
Keir Starmer has been ordered to resign by the UK Supreme Court in the most explosive political ruling in modern history. £124,000 in undeclared property profits, just the tip of the iceberg. A 268-page verdict revealed hidden luxury gifts, private jet rides, a £15,000 Rolex, offshore transfers, and a calculated cover-up. This isn't scandal, it's a constitutional crisis. Chief Justice Dame Sukar said it plainly. The office of Prime Minister has been abused. Protesters are flooding the streets, ministers are resigning, the Attorney General barred from briefings, and King Charles, he's reportedly considering invoking royal prerogative to remove Starmer, something not seen since 1834. Inside number 10, panic. £52,000 wired from a shell company with zero explanation. This isn't just corruption, it's influence trading at the highest level. Lord Wukar Ali, a billionaire donor with defense contracts, reportedly bankrolled Starmer's lifestyle.
the people from the UK or Britain in large, this country is being governed by kingdom, and this a monarchy leadership, whereby it's being inherited from the same generation. So whenever the king dies, his son takes over. So the last queen was Queen Elizabeth, and after his death, that's when his son King Charles II take over as the king of this country. And now, under the kingship, or under the rule of King Charles, that's when we have started to experience much from this country of Britain. And now this Britain, we never experienced any demonstration in the country of Britain. We never experienced in the cities, in the streets of UK, people going on the street to demonstrate until today, because now the great empires have to face the same wrath. And because now the entire Great Britain, entire Europe, entire Westerners have to face the same music, because this is the payback time. Today, as I speak, we are still having many countries in Africa who are possessing the military bases from Britain, from UK. Like in Kenya. In Kenya still, we are still running under the leadership of UK. King Charles has the final say today in African countries, many African countries where they colonized. Because today here in the country like Kenya, we are still having their militaries, we are still having their properties, we are still having their sisal farms here. So they are here all over. Their military are here monitoring their projects, their properties. So even after we as Africans got independent, they still had the chance to remain and install their businesses here, their properties. So every time we speak anything against them, they know, because they have their people every corner. And now today, I can say that nobody can escape this. And that's why you see, we started to see things happening in France. Later on, we started to experience a lot of things happening in the country of US, whereby now the black people are moving out of this country in large numbers, making the economy of this country to collapse. And now from there, we have experienced many countries, many colonies which from Africa, where some of the great empires like France and Britain who have been colonizing, they are coming to resist. They have banned their flags. They have expelled their military troops. And now in Britain, today in Britain, this country is out of control. It is out of control because the citizens demand the freedom. They demand equality, because the government today is making the people of this country to suffer. The economy has been high. The cost of living is very high. The people are complaining because today even the basic needs like rent and everything, people are not able to comply to it.
Yo, England is officially done. England is finished, mate. This country is finished. It's just a horrible, expensive, miserable place nowadays. I was on Instagram before, yeah, and I seen that teachers are now putting digital clocks in schools because the kids can't even tell the time no more. Like, what? For one, it's a school, so teacher, and for two, it's like, in 20 years, these are going to be the people of our country, the adults of our country. Like, I'm telling you, give it 20 years, this country is going to be one of them Brit-off European countries like Poland or Ukraine or somewhere that no one wants to go, bro.
So this has forced the government erupt, the people to go on the street. They demand their freedom, their right, because they pay a lot of money in tax, but this money is not doing anything to help them. So today, what do we say? Because there is nothing bad happen like brutality in slavery and colonization. Like the country of Britain. Britain did a lot of damages, caused a lot of damages, and their influence here in African countries where they colonized, like here in Kenya. Our Mau Mau fighters were killed by the leadership of Queen Elizabeth from Britain, from British. And many other countries, our Mau Mau fighters, our freedom fighters, and those people who stood to fight against the colonial powers, they were all destroyed by British government, which was under the leadership of Queen Elizabeth. And despite all that, even after her death, the African leaders went to pay for her last respect. But they were not even respected even after reaching that place. We saw everything. And now today, we are here watching all that's happening. They're at the war. They are fighting against themselves. Because now everyone is blaming the other person for everything that's happening or arising in this country. And this is not only happening because of maybe the deficits, the corruption or everything, but this is happening because the erasure is here, the fall is here, and it has just begun. Whenever the African countries rise, whenever the African power, the black power rise, the white power which was built through the backs of other people, through the sweat and blood of the innocent souls, must collapse, must come to an end. And today, from the history, we were born and find the governance of the Great Britain running under the monarchy, the kingdoms. And now, we are here experiencing as how the kingdom and monarchy come to an end. And today, the citizens are demanding the new election. So this means that they want a government, not a kingdom. They want a government that has been elected by their own decisions, by the decision and choice of the people, but not the family, the royal families choosing who to govern their people. And at the end of the day, the people are suffering under their watch, but they are not able to help them. So there is a lot that is coming. We as African, for the black person, whenever you are, a lot is coming. So whenever we come here to speak. We are speaking what we are. It's like we saw it coming, and this is what we've been expecting for so long. Sometimes I say that I wish that our great freedom fighters, our great emperors, would have been alive to experience what they died fighting for coming to happen at this time before our eyes. I'll not take much of your time because the country of Britain, all that's happening in this country, it's the same as what is happening in France. It is the same as what is happening in the country of America, because today when you go in America, the MAGA voters themselves are against today the government and the governance of the Donald Trump. When you go to France, the French people are against the leadership of Emmanuel Macron. They demand his resignation. When you go to Britain, the same is happening. They want the crown down so that they can make their own decision of elections or voting decisions. So we experience to see this happening in African countries and most of the black nations. But today, the Africans are the one who are sitting to watch all that's happening against their oppressors, against the people who caused the trauma in many hearts of the Africans and the black people generally. Thank you for being here each and every time. I thank you for your support, for being here. Continue. Don't forget to come back. Consider subscribing, joining membership so that you can build this channel together. We are on the way of 10,000 subscribers. This is not a joke. It's a long journey, and I appreciate your support each and every time. Thank you, and be blessed. Reaching from I love and appreciate you. Let's meet on the next comment section. Thank you.